So I think we're good, right? Thank you very much. Before I get started, can we please make some noise for the event organizers for throwing such an amazing event? And keep it going for yourselves for coming out and supporting an amazing event. Just keep it going. All right, so we're going to talk about React and web components, how it is, how it could be. As I understand it, because things change all the time, so April 2022. I'm going to put a timestamp on that. Hi, I'm Dwane. I'm a JavaScript developer advocate at Vonage, and I'm here, and I'm super proud and happy to be here speaking with y'all. Not nervous at all, because the screen is the size of like 10 of my homes put together, but that's fine. So, real quick, who's heard of web components? Please make some noise. I like how everybody's like on a roller coaster. That's, woo! So I'm going to need y'all to kind of keep me right, because again, this is as I understand it, and I could be wrong. So just keep me in check. Who hasn't heard of web components? Please make some noise. Woo! Oh, that is awesome. So feel free to hit me up with any questions or anything that you may have. All right, so now, have you ever used any of like the video elements or the audio elements or the details elements? Have you ever found it amazing that just by putting a video tag with the source, you get a fully functional working with UI, you can control the audio, you can mute it, you can download it, all just with that. Pretty amazing, right? Web components. Now imagine if you could create your own web component, your own element, right? It's kind of cool. So now, how it is, because it's a React conference, so I want to tell y'all how it is with web components in React. Have you ever tried using web components in React? Then I know your pain, because it's not that great. And most of it is because of the way that React handles the data and the events coming from your web component. And so React loves strings, apparently, because if you only have strings passing into your web component, no problem. But if you're trying to pass in like arrays, you're going to get a string of the elements in your array. Try and pass in an object, you're going to get the dreaded and totally useless object. You ever seen those? Terrible. So now, and then as far as events, because React has like the synthetic event thing, you all know what I'm talking about? It's a synthetic event. I mean, y'all are React developers, so I would hope so. And so it can't listen for the regular custom events coming from your web component. But there's hope, because how it could be, there's an experimental version of React out now, out for a while. How many people knew about this? See, and that's why I'm here. So I'm trying to rally the group, you know what I'm saying, rally the troops so that we can make this happen. And so yeah, so as you can see, fully supports React, web components. So now, I'm here to kind of talk about the benefits of React fully supporting web components. And so first, we're going to talk about some very like underappreciated folks, at least from what I've seen. So now there's people who work so hard, especially like in their free time, to be able to create these things that we use to make our lives easier building these applications. And so I'm definitely not talking about me, because with me, you're going to get some documentation on a web component, pretty thorough. You're going to have like some graphs, diagrams, and you're only going to get one set of web components from me. You're also going to get a blog post on how to use the web component in your React application. Pretty thorough as well. I go all the way back to what was like before 16.3. You know what I mean? So I cover the wide gamut, hopefully, up to hooks. And so you can see a lot of stuff here. And also, feel free to reach me on Twitter, lifelong dev, because I've been doing this for a minute. And also the Vonage community channels, always down to talk with folks about web components. If you talk to me for like 5 minutes, you're going to hear web components about like 20 times. So I'm sorry for anybody that came to the booth and I just kind of talked your ear off about web components. And then also workshops. So I do a lot of workshops talking about web components, because again, web components, web components, web components. And big shouts to everybody that came out yesterday and to the web components talk. Anybody was at the Web Components workshop yesterday? All right. Oh, you didn't know about the workshop? I think they have it recorded, so you can hit up the crew about it. So again, and feel free, I'm down to talk about Web Components. That's good. All right. So now I'm talking about folks and maintainers like Corey LaVisca. He created. Did somebody beatbox him? You want to rap? Oh, it's me doing this? Oh, that was weird. Okay. All right. At least it's not an alarm going off. That would have freaked me out. So I'm talking about Corey LaVisca, who has created and keeping up to date Shoelace. Because if you go to his site, it's a lot of, as you can see, a forward-thinking library of web components. And so he has like, has anybody seen Shoelace? Anybody aware of Shoelace? All right, cool. Well, hopefully more folks are aware of Shoelace. Really great framework. And as you can see, it has a lot of things, but what we're going to talk about is that first-class React supports, right? Now, the thing is, on his site, you can see that Shoelace offers a React version of every component, and there's a lot of components. And it provides an idiomatic experience for React users. Notice how it's React. It's a totally separate thing. And you can easily toggle between HTML and React examples throughout the documentation. And then you can see Angular and Vue is like, yeah, Shoelace works awesome with Angular and Vue. Enjoy. And so I asked him because he may love actually having two separate things and maintaining it. And I spoke with him and kind of asked, because I wanted to have like an actual person. I didn't want to be like, yeah, I think that maintainers thinks this sucks. You know what I mean? So I wanted to actually place a face with it. And actually, Corey's a nice guy. He's like, well, the work is already done, so I'm fine with it. But he has an issue that one of his biggest gripes right now is he has to maintain two different examples for each demo in the docs, and it makes the docs slower. And I'm sure Corey would have, like to do other things besides having to maintain two separate examples. Who here likes to double your work? All right, awesome. Now, so also about yourselves. You know what I mean? A big benefit would be helping you all, right? So wouldn't it be nice to not have to jump through hoops to be able to use a web component that's widely available everywhere else, just to be able to use it, right? That'd be nice. By the way, I'm going to sell this as an NFT afterwards. So if anybody wants to place a bid, I'm joking, unless you're going to actually buy it. Anybody? No. Okay, all right. So now let's take a look at how it is to use web components within your React application. So first, you have to use the useRef, right? And then you have to set that to null because it doesn't exist yet. Then you have to use useEffect to be able to set up all the event listeners to listen for on your web component. And then you also have to return the remove event listener because you don't want to have like memory leaks. You all do that, right? You don't have to worry about that, right? I'm watching. Okay, all right. And then this is where you return the actual element in your application. So you have to wrap it in, a surrounding div. What's with, side note, just quick right. What's with like the empty like brackets? Is that just a React thing? Like what does that thing exist? That's weird. I always found that strange. Is that a thing that's normal, like in other things? Because it's like the only place I've ever seen it, right? It's a React thing, I guess, right? Explains it. All right. All right. So now let's talk about how it could be that. So instead of all the useEffect and the useRef, you're able to just place your element in there. And then you can see I'm passing in some things. So the way out, this one only uses the strings, but you could pass in like arrays and objects and it'll understand it just fine. And as far as events, it will also actually support, now okay, so it supports like Pascal case events. So if you name your events that are coming out in Pascal case, camel case, kebab case, kebab. And then there's a thing, I didn't even know it, caps case. Have you ever heard of caps case? It's like the first section is all capitalized and then afterwards, I've never seen it, so maybe it's a React thing. And so you can see here, all you're doing is like, I have an on digit added. And this is a keypad component that I made for our Vonage web components because keypads are awesome and you can use them in so many things, like to make a phone call. to enter in a security code. You know, even to play like a game, you can have like the little as a quiz thing. And so you can see, you just put on and the event, and then you put the function that's going to handle that event. And looking at that now, I would like to get your response on how it could be. So let me know what you think. Make some noise if you think it's cool. And but how about how it is? How it could be? How it is? How it could be? Oh, see, I got you. All right. Also, you would be also future-proofing yourself, because who remembers in lesson 16.3 to get a reference, there was this and this.ref, and then in 16.3 it was react. I did not move. You saw me, right? I have not moved. React create ref, and then now with hooks we have use ref. At least with this way in the experimental version, you do not have to worry. I'm sorry, what I did. That's cold. I'm afraid to look behind me. It's cool, right? Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was good for you. I don't know. All right. And so, like I said, you'll also be future-proofing yourself. Yeah, so I think as JavaScript, React developers, we believe in the web, right? And so I'm asking once again that you believe in web components. And so if you want to like learn more and things, I quickly set up this website, and so it's just some information, and it has a link to the GitHub repo for if you want to be able to have more information. I just went through that for no reason. And so yeah, so just a quickly put together website. I own the domain webcomponents.in because I own many domains. Some call it a problem. I call it learning opportunities. And so I have some ideas for what I would like to do with webcomponents.in, but I'm always definitely willing to hear from the community on what you would like to see on something like that. And my website, lifelong.dev, you can see all the random projects I create and where I'll be in random things. And for a list of all the different blog posts that I've done, because I've done blog posts, web components, but also other things, like on how to use them in other things, and how to style them also, which is super cool. How many of y'all know about part in web components? Was that a cricket, for real? Wow, I'm impressed. But yeah, you can just go to dwane.in/vonage and find out my randomness as I type things on the internet, and you can check it out. And yeah, so again, check it out. Let me know if you like what you heard. And I'm tired because it's been a long day, and I've been, So again, thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and hopefully this thing will work. If I clicked it, don't know if I clicked it. It's supposed to be something cool. It's not cool now because I actually, let me see something here. All right. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, hopefully. So I actually have time. So anybody have any questions or anything? Because I literally, oh, there. Awesome.
Thank you, Dwane. Excellent. So funny.
What am I doing? Oh, you have a question. What's up?
So
Web components, web components, web components. Greatest thing ever. So feel free to, let's get this campaign going. Let's get it in React 19, because 18 just came out, and this thing's been out for like 2 years. So let's try and make this happen, because it's awesome. All right? Thank you all once again.